again, day 2 for this. And on the screen, as you can see, this is the one I started off with from yesterday. I had it animated and I threw some windows and stuff in my building. So let's take a look at this real quick. So for this animation, I don't have too much going on. I have my little bus speeding across on my bridge there, and I have some clouds moving, so nothing extremely complicated, but it is, getting the job done. All right, and then let's see what my slides look like. So basically, all I have is something like this. And then next slide, you can start seeing my little bus coming on the first part. My clouds are coming over. And I have to just keep, like how we did with the ball or the background, just in each slide, I just move it over just a little bit. So just like so. That's how the animation works, and I'll get into how I made my windows right now in my little tower. So let's get out of here now. Let's start with the easier one for this one, and I'll do another video for the more complex version. All right, so I have my buildings here. With this, remember that you can zoom in. That's probably going to be one of the most valuable tools up here, is being able to zoom in. So I'm going to zoom in here. Another thing that might be worth your while to take note of is just remember that, you can move your buildings if, something is in your way. So maybe for this, I can move these ones up so that way I can, do a little bit more with my windows. So let's start with this. And I'm gonna go to my line. I still have the polyline selected. So I'm gonna change that to just line. And then really I'm just gonna go and put lines in or across my buildings, but across going up and down or vertically. So I'm just gonna click, oh, that was a bad click. Control Z, go backwards, click my line again, click and hold. One, do it again, select the line, try to have it lined up as best possible, click and hold, and I'm holding shift so that way my line is as straight as possible. So now that I have two, now this is the time I want to go and zoom in some, then I'm going to go get my arrow, click, hold control, click. Now I'm going to control C, control V, try to move this, try to line it up. And for this building, that's going to be fine. So I'm going to hold control while I have these two lines selected, as you can see. I'm going to hold control, then I'm going to click on this one, click on that one, and now I'm going to edit them. So I'm going to go to where it says line dash, click on that. And then I have all these options. So for this one, I'm just going to say dots. Next to line dash, it says line weight. It's going to make my line thicker, maybe a little bit bigger. There we go. And then I want to change the color. So since my background is blue and these buildings are in the back, I'm going to make where it says line color is like a little pencil. I'm going to select blue. So that's just me. You might want yellow windows to make it look like lights are on. That's all up to you. But my back buildings I'm going to make them all blue windows. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger so it fits a little bit better. Something like that. Slide this over. All right. So I can use this for a couple of buildings. So I'm going to control C, control V. Got another set. I got to be careful that I don't select the wrong thing. So I got to just try to see what I'm doing here and click and then move it. Hopefully I got the right thing. Yes, I do. Also, when I'm clicking directly on the line. If I don't click directly on the line, it's going to unselect these, and then I'm going to have to start over. So be careful with that. Where can I put this? So let me move over some because these aren't good spots for me. Okay, well, I'm just going to leave it here. I'm going to put it on this one. And since I have this edge right here, I'm going to try to line it up a little bit here. Have it there. And then because, you know, my building is slanted right here, I don't want the line or my windows to stay straight on this part. So I'm going to go to my little blue box here and then squeeze this down. And now that looks a little bit better. And I'm going to bring this down some. There we go. And I can do this a few more times in a couple of buildings. So I'm going to Control C, Control V, and just got to look and make sure I get the right piece. Move it over. Come to here. And for now, it's going to be okay that I go over top. And I'll group all this stuff in a few minutes. Or if you don't really care about it going over top, that's fine too. I'm going to change this one up. So now I can just go to line dash. And then I'm just going to make this into dashes here. Where else can we go? I got this building over here. Control C, Control V. Or I could have just hit Control V and I could have got my dots back. And I'm going to line this one up with this building. And then I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. And I'm also going to change this one up. So I'm going to go to dash, line dash, and then I have this option like that. All right, so now I have like, you know, different looking buildings. And I have a few more I can still use the same concept. I just messed that up. Control C, or Control and click, Control click, Control click, Control C, Control V. Move me over some, slide back over. Got to take my time, get my lights. I'll line that up here. And I can't tell if that's lined up right because that moon is there, but I think maybe it's like that. And let's change that one up. Let's do that one. Yeah, that's fine. Let's, I got one more building I can use the same thing with Control C, Control V. And let's get that right in here. And right like that. All right, so the next thing, let's throw some shapes in here. So that way it's more diverse with the different types of windows or window structures. I'm trying to see what other options I have. Well, let's just do a rectangle. And I have a building here. I can throw a couple windows on. Gotta change the color, take the border off. So the border color, transparent color, blue, Control C, Control V. Now I got two. Try to line this up as possible. Ugh, there we go. That's still not lined up right. Ugh. Let's try to do that again. That's better than it was. All right, hold control, then click, hold oh, did I select it? I think I have the whole background selected. All right, and click off of there. Click on that, there we go. Now hold control, and click. Then I'm gonna say Control C, Control V. Now I have 4. And I'm just trying to line it up. There we go. That's gonna have to be good enough because that was about to get on my nerves. All right, let's see what we have. Let me zoom out. Fit. And you see it's starting to look pretty good. Just have a lot of these overlapping. And it's going to be up to you how much detail you do. but this is not that bad. I'm gonna change this one. That doesn't look that good. These ones are, for the most part, okay. But this one is not what I'm liking. So let me click on this. Take my time. Make sure I'm selecting it right. Don't want to select the building. All right, let me change that to that, and I'll make it like. All right, so let's say you have your windows on here and you have something like mine's, but obviously the windows are overlapping. So I'm gonna group this. So I'm gonna click on this building right here. Well, actually, you know what? I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna click out here in this white space and I'm gonna hold control. Actually, I don't even need to hold control. I'm gonna just click out here in the white space and I get my blue box. Make sure you have your arrow selected. And I'm just gonna go across and select everything. Everything that I made, like the windows and the buildings that I'm looking for. So it's going to get more stuff than I want, but that's okay. All right, so it looks like I have everything because it all has this little blue on it. But what I don't want is my background, the blue part. So I'm gonna hold control and click on my background. And now I'm just looking, I'm making sure I don't have my moon selected. It's just the windows and just the buildings. So that looks good. So then I'm gonna go to our range. Then I'm gonna say group. And you know, it goes in front of everything, but that's okay because while this is all selected, I can say control down and it went in front of those buildings. So I can say control down again. And now it's in the back. And obviously, I mean, I could do more work on my buildings, but for this quick demonstration, I'm gonna leave them like this. So that will be one layer of buildings. For this gray layer of buildings, let's start putting some towers in here. So, you know, really a tower is just going to be a rectangle. We'll go to shapes. I'm gonna zoom in. Oh, I'm gonna zoom in now. Had a problem figuring out what I was trying to do. Go back to shapes, rectangle. All right, and here is going to be my first tower. I'm going to change the color and take the border color off. Which gray is that? Not that gray, obviously. That gray. Nope, not that gray. This gray. All right, so that's, you know, easy tower. So let's put another one here. Control C, Control V. Let's make this one taller. Can I get it? Yeah, good enough. All right, so let me zoom out now. That doesn't look that bad. All right, so let's throw some towers on here. Control V. Oh, that's too small for me to even get, so I have to zoom in. And it's hard to see, but it's there. There it is. Let's come over. All right, this is going to be a pain in the neck, so I got to move it first. Then I got to move this. And that building is not even where I want it to be. But let's just throw some towers on here. So I got this piece. I'm going to Control C and Control V. And put another one. And because this is slanted, I'm going to, you know, it's got to be moved up some. And another one. And let's just leave that like that before I feel like I'm going to mess up. Let's try to zoom out some. Where else can I put some towers at? I can put some over here. zoom in. I just did a Control C. I'm gonna zoom in over here and watch my tower that I want. It's gonna be way over here. So it's hard to see again. Click on this. Over. There we go. And let's zoom out. So I got a few towers there. What else can we do? I'm gonna put a highway through here, but it's going to be for these buildings. So if I want to do like a bridge or a highway, as I just called it, let's do rectangle. Let's just do a line or a long rectangle. Oh, you know what? Let's I'm gonna do this a little bit different. Let's put the highway between these buildings. I'm not feeling that one. So let's say if it's here, and now that's gonna be. So if it's here, squish it down. Then let's make it a different color. Get that gray. Take the outline off. Transparent. Right? So now it's just a line, right? But that line is going to end up being my bridge between these two buildings. So it needs another one of these lines. Control C, Control V. And let's leave it down here. That's fine. Just a little bit bigger than the other part. See, it's starting to look like a little bridge already. I have to zoom in now. Same shape. And small. I do these pretty small. Color. Look at my gray line. Take the line off of there. And I'm going to Control C, Control V. Oh, that's like super small. Try to zoom in one more time. Nope. All right, let's try to click on a few of these. I think I have them all. Control C, Control V. I don't know why it keeps going into that gray part. That's annoying. And I'm just Control C and Control V in these. If you didn't know. There we are. So now that's going to be one little bridge. And you know what? I can go and I'm going to hold Control, select everything here, and I'm going to save this, or I'm going to copy this bridge. I'm going to put another one someplace else. And it's just, I mean, if you guys have bad eyes, this is going to be like the hardest thing to see, but just making sure I have it selected. All right, I think I have it all selected. That was really hard to see. Control C, Control V. There's my second bridge. Let me zoom out. Oh, that's way too far out. All right, where can I put this other bridge at? Let's put one here. Then I'm gonna scrunch it down. And maybe I can I'll put one on my white buildings too, Control C, Control V. And if it's on those buildings, I have to just change the color to, it's gray, not white. I don't know why I just called them white, but it's like light gray, right? There we go. Might have to fix that some, but it's there. Control, I can put one on my darker buildings, Control C, Control V. And let's put one, let's just put it here. I don't know if you'll be able to see that. Let's put it here. And then just have to change the color. And it's a little messed up here. Actually, it's not that bad. Maybe I can leave it like that and I can get away with it. All right, so this one up here, this white one, because it's so high. I mean, and this is just my imagination. I'm gonna put like, something's gotta be holding it up. So I'm gonna put like a little line here. And I just messed something up. Oh gosh. So let's say Control Z. Control Z fixes it. Let me go back to my shape because I didn't have that selected. All right, so let's try this again. There we go. Boom, change that color. Take the line off of there, the border color. All right, so there you go. So that little pole is holding up my bridge. Let's make another one because it's got to be held up on both sides. Got to take my time, grab it. It's too long. Let me see. And let me try to bring it up. So I got it in the right spot? I don't know. I don't think so. Let me zoom in again. There we go. All right, so let's leave it like that. And then for sake of making my video too long, because somebody's going to complain that my video is really long, and they're going to think that they can't do it because the video is long, let me go to, let's try to get this animated part done. Zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, zoom out, fit. There we are. All right, so for this one, I'm just going to make a bus like how I did before. And then we can maybe do like, I'll just do for sake of time, I'll put 2 buses on here and I'll make it go across, like, you know, maybe one can go across this bridge and one can go across this bridge. So I have my white area over here. If you don't have white area, you know, you can use that zoom out on an area and then you'll have it. So I'm gonna make the bus big and then I'll shrink it down. So all the bus is you can get a rectangle, any type of shape that's rectangle-ish you want. I'm gonna get this rounded rectangle, get that, put one out, boom. I'm gonna put one down here first, so I'm gonna make it this dark gray color. I'll start gray. I'm gonna take the outline off, even though you can't see it, that's fine. Then I'm gonna put windows on it, get the rectangle again, and I'll put a window towards the front. And I'm gonna make it go a little bit past the line there because when it's small, you're not even really going to be able to see it either. So you just want it to look like the window. So, you know, when the light comes out of it, the window would look like it's a little bit bigger. If that makes sense. I mean, if you don't want the window to go past the line, that's fine. Then I'm going to make a circle. This is going to be the lights. Change the color. Change the color. Let me do that again. Take the outline off. And then we just need like the passenger window. So again, rectangle. And then like, where the people sit at, the windows are maybe like longer, or they're not the exact same size as where the person drives at. I got that one window, Control C, Control V. And then let's do both of these. Got them both selected because I held Control and clicked. So then I'm gonna say Control C, Control V. And then this window is gonna go too far. But let's see what that looks like. That's not that bad. That's bus or train-like. We can call that a train if you want. Let's give it a little design. It's got like a little light design down the side. It's up to you. Put one itty bitty stripe on it. And let's move that closer. There we go. So that's my bus, train, whatever you want it to be. And I can always change the color of it, but for right now, that's going to be the color. I'm going to select all of it. I'm going to group this because it's got a whole bunch of little pieces. And this time I selected everything, and then I right clicked and I'm going to say group. So now everything, when I click on that, it moves together. Just be careful. If I click, then I click again, then it starts coming apart. So when you click on it too many times, it comes apart. Basically, if you click on it 2 times, it comes apart. All right, so where can I put my bus? I have to hide it too. Let's make another one of these. So Control C, Control V. And then I want one for the light gray. So I gotta double click. Let me do that. Click, double click, and let me change the color to the light gray color. I think it's that. And now I need 2 of these maybe. Control C, Control V. All right, so these ones need to go behind these buildings, which is going to be a little bit annoying. And then this one needs to go behind that building. All right, let's see if we can get this done. Actually, it doesn't have to go behind. It can just go right on top. We have to do this very calculated. I'm making it smaller. Make this one even smaller. All right, might be a little bit too big, but that's going to work. So what we would do is, so now that I have this, go here. Let's say this, obviously I have more slides here. Let's say this was my first slide. I'm going to duplicate it. Duplicate. You need to have at least 8 slides. Duplicate. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven. Kind of pause there for a second. What am I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's 8. I'm kind of off counting, but that's okay. However many I got is how many I got. All right. So this one. You want to go to your second slide, not your first slide. The first slide is going to be blank. That's my second. No, this one is my second slide. On the second slide, I'm gonna put my bus. Bus is definitely too big, but okay. Yeah, my bus is too big. It's gonna like drive over top of these buildings. But you know what I could do since my bus is too big? Let's do this. I'm just gonna put it here, right? So that's that one. And I'm just going to do each bus or maybe I'll do these two buses together, but I'll do this one by itself. So that was slide 2. It's going to be 3. Let me do this different because now I can see I'm going to mess up. Go back to slide 2. Let's see. Let me Control C, Control V that. Not like that though. Next. Now I can move it. Next slide. And often what I do is I look over here in this the small preview version to see what's happening. Next slide. And as long as it's going a little bit further each time, then I'm good. So I didn't have 8. Get another one on here. And actually, since my bus is gray, I probably could have made my bus black on this one. I'll go back and do that. I need one more. All right, right about there. Oops. All right, well, I definitely messed that up. Let me Control Z. Yeah. All right, so I gotta change the color on here. That's my fault. No. And I just gotta make it a darker gray. For black, there's no other darker gray. And I gotta go all the way back on each one. That's, when you make a mistake or you see what you could fix later, this is what happens. No. There we go. Back. Double click on it. Almost forgot. What happened there? Almost done. No, messed up again. And one more. And I keep doing that. There we are. All right. Hopefully, I don't know how long this is. Hopefully, I'm not on the too long I can't do it, Mr. James video. So obviously, you would do the same thing with this. But we gotta kind of finagle it. It needs to be behind that building. So let's do Control down. Will it go back there? Nope, 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 nope. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna put it all the way in the back and then try to bring it up. So let's say order back. And then it shouldn't be that far back. So let's just say Control up. I can see it. I don't think it's in the right spot though. Yeah, it's behind the white building. So this is going to be annoying. Let's do Control up again. Up. There we are. Now it's in the right spot. I'm going to put it on top. That wasn't what I planned, but it was too cut off underneath. So let me put it there. All right, so I have to leave this selected because I want it to be behind the building. And if in front of the building, it's not going to work right. So I'm going to just leave it like this. Leave it selected. I'm going to Control C, so that way I have it. Go to the next slide, Control V. Is it going to go to the right spot? No, it didn't. That's okay. Let's try Control down. Let's see if we can get it there. Control down, Control down, Control down. No. Man. All right. Right click, order, Control back. Send back, and then Control up. I have to double check where it's at. Man. There we go. All right, so let's put it here. Control C. Hopefully we don't have to do that again and move it all over the place. Next slide. Control V. It's in front of the building again. All right, this is most likely going to be the last one, and then we have to put it behind on the other side. I guess I could have made a tunnel, but to try to make it so I don't have to do all this extra stuff, but this is like a combination of trying to get it done and being lazy. Back, send back, then it's Control up, up. There we go. Let's move it some. And then that's the last time I had to do that. So Control C, Control V, Control C, next slide. I could just make a little thing that goes over top of it too. Control C. Forgot the Control C here. And just because this is taking so long to get across, even though it's a small space, I need another slide. It's very simple, but at the same time, it's pretty complex. Let's get another one. Just one more, last one. What am I doing here? Here we go. And I'm gonna cheat this one. Line, polyline. And I'm just gonna cover it because I'm tired of messing with it. And I gotta make it this color and take this off of here. And then it should go back to the first one. So let's see what this is gonna look like. Say present. Looks bad right there, but. All right, you can't see my bottom one that good because there's stuff in the way. Let's see if I can, yeah, I can. That's not part of it. So it starts here, then we go, let's slide 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Well, it's going to start over. All right. The only thing I messed up is this train at the bottom is still stuck on here. All right, so let's say you would have had it. I mean, obviously you can do more. I'm keeping it very slim on here because one, I want to keep my video short, and two, I don't want you guys to copy so much. So I have to take these off of here, but I don't want to lose them. So for me, I'm going to, this is something that you shouldn't have to worry about. Control C these, and I got to put them someplace else. Let's put them here. Awesome. Don't link. Go back to here. Delete those. And this is called test 2. So as before, open up a new tab. We're going to tall tweets. After tall tweets, after we get to I don't know why I'm hitting that. After we animate it, tall tweets was TALLTWEET. And then after we animate it and everything looks good, then we're going to save it to Google Classroom. Click on that. Everybody should have made one by now. If you didn't for some reason, just make sure you log in with your school ID, and then you'll find the slide you just made. Hit select. It's got to load with these bubbles. Then we'll say 0.1 and say create GIF. There you go. So now you have something like this. I got a bus going across the top, a bus going all fast across the bottom. I still kind of messed up right there on the end. Let's save it. It's going to save. Open up a new tab. Go to Google Classroom. Google Classroom. Make sure you go to your art class. Obviously always got to go to the one that says test. Share something with class. You're going to say add file. It may come up in recent. Some of you guys are on Chromebook, so it comes up in my drive. I have a whole bunch, so I'm going to have to do mine from upload. Then you say browse. It's always saved as download. I've done 25 of them, so mine's is download 25. Y'all number should be low, like download 2 or 3 or 4. I don't know. Make sure you put your name on it, or you can put, my work, something like that. Then once you type something, you can say post, and then it will be on there. And if you happen to click on it, you'll get something like this. All right. That is all for this one. If it's too long, my fault, but I mean, this is like one of those things that's easy, but it takes time. So let me get off here and stop talking.